Hello. Hi. Hi, I'm here. Where am I? Still have this damn cough. Yeah, there we go. Still have this cough, but it's not as bad as it was like days ago. I can actually talk, communicate, been working and stuff. I haven't really had time to play much. This is out. And it got pretty decent reviews so far, so see how it is. I'm not going to be playing for super long, so I've got work in the morning. I've been working every single day since like the 6th. What is that, like 14, 15, 16 days in a row? Yeah, it's a lot of work. Video. Oh, this is epic, but I bought the game on Steam. I don't understand. Alright, let's see how this is. I'm excited. Ooh. Let's go with modern. I'm sure modern would translate into easy if they did regular difficulty names, but whatever. Alright, hang on, since I'm still here. Still here.
So, your uncle. What's wrong with him?
He's possessed.
As in the devil?
Something like that. He says a dark man is following him, watching him at all times.
What do you make of it?
It's nonsense, of course, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. You see, it runs in my family.
Possession?
No, detective. Deteriorating melancholy. Practically every member of the Hartwood family is driven mad before they grow old.
But Jeremy didn't kill himself. Is that why he's at your setup?
Despite being convinced that he is truly possessed, he decided to put his last chips on Dr. Gray and his psychoanalysis, figuring he might stumble upon some cure.
You mentioned the letter.
I received a disturbing letter from Jeremy accusing the staff and all the other patients of being involved in some cult. And now they are also out to get him.
Could it be real? Or is it all just in his head?
It's a story he tells himself, Mr. Carnby. Anything to avoid the truth.
Which is?
That we're all terribly insignificant. That people mean so very little to one another. That there is no one out to get Jeremy Hartwood because he isn't worth getting.
Here we are.
My uncle's not well, Mr. Carnby. I want to make sure he's all right.
Then what's my part in this? You couldn't get a cab?
I just wouldn't feel safe going alone. Did you bring a gun?
Yeah. You think it'll actually come to that?
No. But you might need to wave it around depending on how agreeable the staff will be.
What exactly are we gonna do when we find Jeremy?
I don't know. Let's just find him first.
Hello?
It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
This is a big place. Maybe they're on the other side of the house.
Stay here. I'll have a look. What's this? This must be older than Derceto. They've built the house around it.
When I Get Back, John Marcus, 1918.
Dearest Emily, Derceto is the prey of evil, and now they're all in on it. The staff and all the patients are nothing more than a mindless cult set to awaken the bayou. I see now that it was wrong of me to try to survive the madness of the Dark Man. You will also learn that soon enough. Every hour that passes where I deny him his right to my sanity makes it worse for the people I care about. He perfectly staged his world in order to conduct my fall. And I have to fall, Emily. Stay away, my dearest niece. Stay as far away from Derceto as you can. Someday you may understand what I've done. May God forgive me. Farewell, Jeremy Harwood.
just take this?
Every day your silence weighs a little heavier. It's been a difficult year for everyone, and many have lost all hope. I read in the papers about people suffering. Pictures of dust-covered landscapes without a drop of water. I wish I knew if you were still tending the earth or if you had turned your back against us. I have started to look for help elsewhere. I pray you will tell me if I am going down a path that you find disagreeable. With help from Baptiste and Charlotte, I found comfort in the practice of the voodoo. I have long been skeptical of that Caribbean cult, but it's been of good use to me. It seems all harmless in my book. I say some words dreamt up by the Creoles, and I carry around a small pocket of gree-gree. Nothing of this is mentioned in the Bible, of course, but the French Quarter priestess tells me it's all connected. She says the Christian God is just one more perspective on the creator of things. That's what I like to think, but the other way around, that the spirits of her faith are just aspects of you, our Heavenly Father. I am so grateful for the words you gave Mr. Hartwood. We will sing your praises at St. John's Eve. The world will be blessed soon again. Only the sacrifices of the Old Testament compare to your demands. Let it be the truth. A mother of earth, wood, and dirt. A mother of 1,000 young.
Sacred sand, $1. Black cat oil, $1.50. Devil shoestrings, a quarter. That makes $2.75, madame.
What was that you were telling the doctor? A goat without horns. What does that mean?
Ah, you must have misheard me, madame. I said no such thing.
Please, I know I don't look like any of you, but I'm devout. I'm ready to do what it takes.
Do not be so eager to sacrifice the few things you have left, madam. Now please, leave my store.
A goat without horns.
Ah, yes, I also keep my bullets in my fridge, like a sane person. There's also my pantry bullets. Forbidden knowledge, rat poison.
What was that?
Amazing. I appreciate these little tool tips that are at the bottom of the screen here. Oh.
Please do not touch the boiler. It is working after all. While the sabotage has caused a leak, only the decorative plate has been completely ruined. Let's wait for Mr. Chance to turn up and he can take a look at the leak. Mr. Waits.
That doesn't look safe.
Oh, I'm not in the game. I'm in the game.
Sunday, June 22nd. I spent all day looking for Jeremy. I should have cared for the others, but I'm scared that he will do something irreversible. Cassandra is upset that I didn't give her the latest shipment of pain medication that Waits brought from the post office yesterday.
Boy.
I gave it to her, but the company didn't send a new key this time around, so the box is just sitting there on my desk. They must have figured we had plenty of their gimmicky keys by now. I only remember seeing one lately. Grace was playing with it inside the grand parlor. Unless it turns up by itself, it will have to wait. I have to figure out where Jeremy is. I think Jack knew something. That dog of his found a strange rot permeating the house. She's showing us, he said. Like those blots and streaks of fetid rot was talking to him.
Oh man, it reminds me of that didn't finish it. Was the game Banishers? Banishment? Banished? I don't know. It's a game that came out like a month or two ago. But to me it looks very similar to that. I'm not sure who the developer is on this. This game also, something about it, the look of it reminds me of that Vampire game from, what, like 4 or 5 years ago? Right now I'm unlocking achievements for things I've already done, because, I don't know. Ooh.
I need the key.
I'm definitely appreciating all of these games that... I'm saying all of these games. There's a handful of games that have come out that are horror games that take place in a different, like, area. Like this taking place in... I mean, I guess Resident Evil 7 takes place in the same place, but, like, this is, like... sounds like Louisiana or something. Nice change of pace, and everybody has this accent too. I had to shoot at least once. That felt impactful because I don't really have that many bullets right now.
The Great Depression. President Hoover raises tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods in an act to protect American labor. Following the collapse of the Wall Street stock market on October 24 last year, American industry has suffered greatly. Thousands of companies have gone bankrupt and left a large part of the American workforce unemployed. In an attempt to turn the tide, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act has been signed by President Herbert Hoover. By regulating commerce with foreign countries, the government hopes to encourage the industries of the United States to compete with cheap foreign imports. Superstition on rise. New Orleans voodoo stores and spiritual mediums see increased profit during troubled times. While the market has faced hard times ever since Black Thursday of last year, voodoo doctors and snake charmers see significant rise in number of customers. With the coming Eve of St. John on the 23rd, the police expect increased cult activity around Bayou St. John, the southern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. Voodoo rituals in that area on the Eve of St. John have a long tradition reaching back to the first snake worshippers brought as slaves from West Africa. During the 19th century, its practice was popularized by the legendary Marie Laveau, and has since been embraced by many of the Creoles and the surviving aristocracy of the French Quarter. Author seeks asylum. Rumors regarding author Cassandra Beauregard making Derceto her home verified. Derceto Hospital is an old plantation building on the eastern shores of Lake Pontchartrain. While often considered an asylum for the insane, residing Dr. Elmore Lee Gray prefers to think of it as a convalescent,
Love these accents.
a place where you can go to rest. The patient list is kept secret, but thought to include many of the black sheep of wealthy families, because at Derceto, treatment does not come for free. Local author Cassandra Beauregard has now been confirmed by her own admission. She's been lauded as a powerful Creole voice and written many successful books. Lately it was reported from Hollywood that she has finished a moving picture manuscript titled Slaughter Gulch. That film is set to hit the theaters next year.
I need the key.
Wait, don't.
Excuse me? Do you know where I can find Jeremy Hartwood?
Of course not.
McCarthy, what are you doing? I told you not to lose sight of the girl.
Don't you worry, Mags. I'll find that little rascal.
Who are you people? What are you doing here?
I'm sorry about all this, but I'm looking for my uncle. His name is Jeremy Hartwood.
What are you doing, child? You shouldn't be alone. Go find McCarthy.
Who are you? Are you here for the Fay Dodo?
Go upstairs now.
My name is Emily Hartwood. I'm the niece of Jeremy Hartwood. This is Detective Carnby.
The police? Why are you here?
No, I'm a private investigator. Sorry to bother you. My client's worried about her uncle. He's a patient here at Derceto. If you don't mind, could you direct us where to find him?
No, I can't. Jeremy has gone missing. If you leave your information, I will make sure to contact you.
Wait, he ran away?
No, he won't leave the house. He's around here somewhere, and both of our orderlies are looking for him.
That's unacceptable. Where's Dr. Gray? I want to speak with him immediately.
Fine, I'll ask him. Wait here and don't touch anything.
Do you want to see Jeremy's room?
Can you show us?
Follow me.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody sticking their tongue out as an animation in the game. Not like that, at least. Like in a cutscene, in a fairly serious situation.
Every night the dark man stands opaque at the threshold of my room, counting the days until my spirit spills out of my tired shape. Only his pallid mask shelters my remaining sanity. Staring directly into the face of that demonic sultan would surely sunder time itself. Would he have looked the same to my father as he struggled for his life? Does his veiled face haunt my niece quite the same way? I wish so that I could rest my soul in that sunburnt convent of Tarawea. Would I find you there, Juan? Or Senora Perosi, back from the beyond? Every night I hide from him, moving from one misshapen memory to another. Scenes conjured out of fantasy and delirium. Places I struggle to even paint. I wish I understood your death, Senora. Is there anything I could do for you but bury you in that bleak necropolis? That triumphant chapel rising above the ledges and the oven vaults shall be your sepulchre, where you may rest, and I shall weep. How did you first come to understand such things, Senora? How did you
I'm impressed by the sheer amount of voice acting so far. And it sounds like everybody's committing to whatever this is.
With its astronomical motifs, would take me to that hateful mound outside of Claremont Harbor. Those are my memories, my past. Is there perhaps a chance, if ever so small, for me to see Tarawea? Oh, I want that more than anything. Please, let my talisman take me there. Let me sit with Juan under his Bodhi tree. Despite having sold me that talisman, Miss Jackson, the voodoo priestess, revealed none of her secrets to me. That's why I had to travel to Tonka. Instead, she cruelly told Baptiste, my caretaker, that he would be betrayed and killed in the most awful way, that the one he loved would pierce his thigh with a sharp spear, and that he would be devoured by his own mother. What a terrible thing to say. The people of Deseto were becoming dangerous. They do not understand what they are doing. I must do something to stop them. I tried talking to Dr. Gray, but he confuses my worries. He's caught up in treating me. How can he expect evil to be cured with medicine and conversation? The orderlies, the housekeeper, and the patients are all deranged. They will call upon evil to enter this world. all would be lost. Everything. Unless I can find the clerk, Mr. Waite. He seems to be a clear-thinking man. Maybe Beauregard. The dark man offered me a prison, and I accepted. I signed that miscarried contract and entered the dark pact. Everyone is safe, except for me.
Just solved the puzzle. Smart.
Have you ever seen anything like this? Looks like a talisman.
You mean like this one?
Oh my goodness. That's how I feel when I wake up in the morning. Holy smokes.
Can you find me a knife to cut the canvas? I want to take this with me.
You want to take the painting? Sure, I'll find one.
I wonder if this is, I don't know if this is a blasphemous statement. I wonder if this ends up being the best Alone in the Dark game.
I found this tube as well. Should keep it safe for you. Do you want to carry it, or should I? Miss Hartwood? Emily?
I'll take it. Thank you.
We're done here, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know how to do any of this.
Listen, I think we should talk to Dr. Gray. He must know something about what's going on around here.
Okay. Let's do
There's
that.
something about the way that they're standing where it doesn't feel like they're making contact with the ground in that shot.
Come on, I don't want to be here all night.
They did the first one. I think there were like 3, like the classic games or whatever.
Detective Carnby?
I could be wrong. I know there's
Where
Alone in
did-
the Dark. I think there was One Eye Jack's Revenge, which was the first one I played on the PlayStation. Thought there was a third one. Then they did a New Nightmare on like the Dreamcast. I don't think did super good. It was alright. And you had the movie. And then there was a reboot, I think. And then there was Alone in the Dark. Is it Illumination? Which is from, I'm gonna say like 2014, is making up a year. Didn't do all that well. I thought there was another one, and then there's this. A lot of them. New Nightmare is the one that for some reason it was one of the launch Game Boy Color games for the Switch Online. It's super funny to me. I would choose to believe these are luchador masks. They're not, but that's what I'm gonna believe. Oh, damn, I got bitch slapped. How do I not get hit? Okay, not going well. Oh, it's a revolver, of course. I can't see. Oh, I should probably use my flashlight. Okay, so you can't attack if you're not aiming. Just good to know. If I press R2, it doesn't do anything. If I aim, then I can shoot. Where's the one I was looking at? Where'd the other one go? I was hoping I'd be able to sneak up on that thing and something, but I appreciate that little... The fact that the flashlight has, like, you know, you can see the bands going around it. I'm playing this also on a 4070 on... It defaulted to Epic, and it seems like when that little girl shows up, the frame rate just drops. I think it's her hair. There's been a couple other times too, and like it just seems like it freezes, and it's still running. I can hear sound, but I don't know. Odd.
Can't go that way.
Oh, this is an invisible wall. Can I go past her? Go towards this light.
This can't be.
You'll top off as you do in games in general.
I can't go that way.
I want to... Okay. I needed to know, in case I played a factor later.
Batiste?
How'd you get here?
I was back at Derceto. Looking for my Uncle Jeremy?
Jeremy's your uncle. I didn't know.
Why would you? You're still working at Derceto?
Yeah, both me and Lotta stuck around. We're real orderlies now. You remember my sister Lotta, don't you?
What happened, Batiste? How are we here?
You know about the dark man haunting your uncle?
I'm familiar with his mental state.
There's random games that this visually reminds me of.
These streets are real, but they're not.
Vampire, that Call of Cthulhu game.
But in the wrong way.
Vanishers or whatever it's called.
You know how to get back to Derceto? I'm not safe here.
Truer words have yet been spoken, Mrs. Marcus.
Don't call me that. It's Miss Emily Hartwood.
Maybe. It's just not as exaggerated. But the tone, definitely.
I'm just trying to tell you like it is. This place ain't safe for no one. There's evil hiding in the dark.
How do I get back?
Only Jeremy knows.
This feels like one of those, like, you know, the games that they talk about not making anymore, where you got like indie and AAA. This feels like one of those like AA games or whatever. It's definitely not quadruple A. Where there's a lot of passion in it. There's some stuff that's a little bit weird.
You know where it came from? Have you been there?
I was there no more than 1 hour ago looking for Jeremy. Locked it up to keep the ghouls from getting inside. You can have the key if you want.
Thank you. I'll take a look.
She doesn't seem to have a reaction to the ghouls. Yeah, this feels like somebody was sitting there, and you know, they're like every single time they have out like a meeting, there's that one person that's like, does anybody have any ideas for something you want to work on? Like, can we do Alone in the Dark? Would you shut the fuck up, Jeremy? No. And eventually the other person got their way. And here it is. They finally got their big moment. What else has happened? So I was listening to a podcast, the Jeff Gerstmann show. I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where he was talking about that time period of games. It might have been this week, where like people used to be allowed to experiment more with games only because things didn't cost as much to make. And now it's like if you want to make a game with a major studio, everything costs so much.
Your sister, she also works at Derceto?
Yeah, she the one who got us jobs.
And it's a good angle. I like that lighting. Alright, whatever. You get indie games experiment still, but yeah, like you're not really gonna see like, I'm going to get the order mixed up. Bandai Namco, I think that's the name they go by. You're not gonna see them like try to do anything crazy, because for it to make sense for them, they've got to put so much money into it. So, you know, like back in the day, I think Namco is the one that published Katamari Damacy, but they can't do that anymore. And you got, you know, other companies, I'm not going to say Ubisoft, like they're just whatever, they're doing whatever they're doing. It's not what I wanted to do. Clearly it is, but that's not exactly how I wanted to do it. What the fuck is that? What am I throwing? What? Oh man. Yeah. You know what? That right there, that entire interaction I just had with this enemy, or tried to have, that is a perfect example of the type of things that you don't get in AAA games. But like, I don't know what the radius is for that sound or how that's supposed to work. Like, it said I could hit it or throw it, distract the enemy, but it clearly didn't do anything. Now this thing is back over here. I'm assuming I was supposed to sneak around it, but I don't have anything left. Like, I feel like a bigger budget game would have had like a little, like a, I don't know, I'm not, maybe like a cone to show you how far you could hear it from. Okay, let's try to just... Okay, well that's... No. What? What is this? Oh, we got QTEs! We got QTEs! There's so much stuff that I'm seeing in this game where I'm like, yeah, AAA games wouldn't have it. Like, if you didn't notice when I was, after I escaped that, when I went to aim, there's a, like, crosshair here. There was no crosshair. I was aiming, but it wasn't there. Like, it just hadn't spawned in yet, because it's probably still playing out the last animation in its engine. I like that. I like seeing some of the rough edges, you know, that's part of what I think makes the Stalker game so appealing. Ooh. But I bet I was halfway in a thought. So I got a Steam Deck. Been pretty cool, but I haven't really had time to use it much yet. But I keep getting notifications on my screen about like Steam Deck detected, Steam Deck lost. So that's been fun. Alright. Oh, you just... There was no explanation for this. I just got a hatchet. I'm sure you saw that. I picked up a hatchet from like here. I thought it was just something else. And now I have this weapon, but the game didn't say like, here's how you use the hatchet. I was assuming because there's a little loadout thing down there or whatever, I had to bind it. But if I press start, it pulls this up. If I press select, sorry, the menu button, whatever they call it, it pulls this up. You don't get that in modern games. They over-explain everything. Again, I like this. I'm definitely liking this so far. I got so many games I gotta, like, touch. I've got Alan Wake 2. And I can finally run it. You know, upgraded my video card like a month or two ago. I was using a 2070 before, and it would play, but it kept randomly crashing. So I was using GeForce Now to play it, but now I've got a 4070 and I can just play it natively at like higher resolutions. I've also got a 1440p monitor that runs at 165 hertz, which is a nice change. Okay. Want that to be overpowered, but I don't think it is. What the hell is this? What am I looking at? Like my bedroom. Alright. Oh. Oh, that would have been nice to know too. In a some sort of a tooltip or something like, yep, your weapons can break, you got durability. I didn't see anything. Now I know. Now I know. There are so many things that like any AAA game would have here. This game just doesn't, and this game in a sense feels very old school. Ah, my weapon broke. Hi, Christina. Yeah, it's choice. I can't. Man, there's so many things that are here that I don't understand. Like, I guess I can carry this with me. It would be really cool if I could hold on to this, but I can't. My only option is to break it. Like, use it right then. What is this? I know I threw a bottle of wine, but and then this is amazing. And they don't make games like this anymore. Oh man.
It looks exactly like Jeremy's talisman.
Got a really hard clue. Hard doors. See, even going back to Resident Evil 1, the thing that's very strange about this is I can't rotate this, but I can zoom in on it. But why am I zooming in on it? I mean, I guess if I, if I want to see concept art, I want to see concept art. I want to see it looking like that. It's so weird.
I think it's meant to hold the talisman.
It's Alone in the Dark. Is the original Resident Evil game. Technically, I guess. What the hell?
I'm not sure what numbers I should use. Maybe there's something in Jeremy's notes.
What am I looking at? Okay, let's go outside. What? I don't understand what I'm looking at here. I don't know what I'm trying to line up. That doesn't feel like it. I don't know what they want me to do. Slice-o-matic. Oh. What? What is this? I'm not even rotating. What are we doing? This is just asking what the password is. Oh my goodness. The first number goes into the largest ring. I need to know what the first number is. I don't think it's... I don't know. Numbers. I'm gonna have to look at notes. Arg. Let me check my notes before I do anything. What is this? 358. 3 numbers needed this. What? 358. Okay, so I guess that's the code I need. Maybe then it needs to also match. The fact that there are numbers on the side of the screen right here is so strange. What's the point of having it rotate? Maybe that's not their normal. I'm using the modern mode. That's not how doors work. Oh, is she injured? Okay.
Good to see you again, Miss Hartwood. Mrs. Thompson told me.
If this person's on the... What are you doing? If you hear somebody...
Detective.
Whatever.
I'm very curious to hear what this is all about.
I see you've solved my puzzle.
Remember me, do you, Miss Hartwood? We met at your family's house in the Garden District.
I don't know.
Your uncle was about to be admitted
Can't be.
under my care.
No, I remember. Sorry. I'm not really feeling well.
Oh, well, in that case, have a seat.
I think she's
Have a drink.
imagining some of this or something.
I don't seem to have made much of an impression.
Maybe the house doesn't look like that and she's thinking she's solving puzzles that she's not.
Recall you and your parents.
Because of our cheerful disposition, I'm sure.
You are far too intelligent to think.
Got a soft spot for forehead wrinkles in games that are now happening.
The only amusement I took from my visit was discovering that the young lady's drink was an old-fashioned.
Very astute. Is that supposed to make you seem attentive or intelligent?
Whatever you prefer. Are you ready to tell me why you are here, Miss Hartwood? And why you brought a detective?
I received a letter from my uncle. He seems certain that he was in danger here. If I find out you're treating him badly, I'll be taking him back with me to New Orleans.
Really? Is he going to live with you in your tiny garçonniere? That would be a spectacular way to ratify your spinsterhood. Because you are well aware that your father would never let him back in his house. No, I have it. Maybe
They're
you can
a spinster.
No. You've been wanting to move back for quite a few years, haven't you? You always preferred your mother's side of the family. Jeremy is free to leave with you. I won't object.
This is before they had bazookas. This is back when they just used to shoot out giant newspapers out of cannons.
Do you know where he could have gone?
No, I'm afraid I don't. I have my staff looking for him. I'm sure he will show up eventually. Especially if he learns that you are here. He is quite fond of you.
What can you tell me about his condition? I never heard a proper diagnosis. What is your medical opinion of him?
Well, let me think. He is an anxious man, depressed, even. He suffers from a perceived lack of order in his inner and outer life. He constantly complains about events not presenting themselves according to their divine nature.
And the Dark Man?
Kind of try to get her cleaned up, just covered in blood and
Jeremy
oil or
uses
something.
the Dark Man as a psychological scapegoat to avoid facing the truth that he is in any way at fault.
You don't think there can be any truth to the Dark Man's supernatural existence?
Why would you ask that?
Can we ever be sure?
If the Dark Man is some sort of evil presence that is in possession of Jeremy?
Well,
I assure you, any evidence that you experience supporting that claim is purely delusional. Don't get caught up in mass hysteria, Miss Hartwood. You wouldn't want to take your uncle's place in this hospital, would you?
I'll be leaving now, Doctor. I need to keep looking for my uncle.
Do so, Miss Hartwood. I'll let you know if he shows up.
I'm assuming he's like the head of this asylum thing. This is really funny. It seems like he's kind of like gaslighting her the entire time, and like the fact that she came from wherever to go look for her uncle. It's like,
Detective Carnby.
you're gonna end up here if you keep it up.
I'm glad to see you. I was afraid you had left.
Me? You're the one who just disappeared.
It's hard to explain. I think I blacked out. It was like I went somewhere else.
It's okay, miss. You're clearly upset.
No, I don't know what's happening.
Crazy late.
It's a very stressful situation for you, I understand.
Ugh, no, you don't understand.
Just take a deep breath. Why don't you sit down, smoke some of the Perique? If you want, I could even drive you back to New Orleans. I just want to have a talk with Dr. Gray first.
I want to stay. I found a talisman just like the one in the painting. I think I might be able to figure out where Tarawea is, where Jeremy wanted to go.
That's great. Just stay out of trouble, okay? Let me handle the investigation.
I'm not crazy, Detective. Not yet.
Okay, catch you later.
I feel like anybody takes this girl seriously in this way that feels appropriate for horror, I guess in general.
If a talisman like this can open up doors between the French Quarter and Derceto, then maybe Jeremy is hiding in some strange other world, like Tarawea, the place he mentioned in the book. No matter where he is, it's clear that my search won't be limited to Derceto.
Nuh-uh. Hold on. Okay. I was imagining there was an animation for her, like, running her hand along the side of the desk. Last of Us style.
Saw your notice in the boiler room. You should know Mr. Chance won't be coming back. I got no business being in there myself, but you can take a valve from the wine cellar if you want to try to stop the steam pouring out. Be careful.
Paul, you're right about the plates on the boiler and the clock. They have been sabotaged, and I think I know who did it. They have something to do with Jeremy's episodes and how he seems to disappear at night. Right now, it's important that you keep an eye out for any of the pieces. I want to find out if I can repair the plates. Let me know if you find any of them. Lottie.
Tell Lottie to take a look at the well in the kitchen garden.
Okay, then.
Dr. Elmore Lee Gray is Deceto's chief doctor. Accounting and all administrative work is handled by me, Paul Waits. Magdalena Thompson, or Mags, is responsible.
Okay. Enough of that. It's a big key. That's a bad luck number key, too. McCarthy?
Interesting. It's all the patient files except for Jim. Looks sturdy. Doubt I'll be opening this.
Weird clues. Were there any weird clues? Hold on, what's this? This isn't what Okay, whatever. Well, that's gonna be about it for now. I know it's a weird time to stop at, but you know, I'm gonna make sure I pretend I'm going to bed at least. Probably be up for another few hours or something, but still, try not to stream too late because you know, life. Anyway, game seems pretty neat so far to me. There's that frame rate slowing down again. Bear hug. The Kuma statue. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and save, and I will see you later. We have a good night. Peace.